in online dating, you have to swipe right 1,000 times to get a single coffee. It's 1 in 7 men doesn't have a single friend. They're going to have men having relationships with machines. The most dangerous person in the world, a lonely, young, broke male.
Yo, Mr. Miyagi right here. Welcome to a beautiful Monday in Auckland, New Zealand. Alpha Attraction people, how you doing? Welcome to another episode. Today's topic is you must watch this before you jump on dating apps like Bumble, Tinder, and the likes. And why is that? We'll share with you very, very soon. But first of all, just going on a tangent, I want to quickly mention two ladies that were on the podcast in the United States who are talking about whether or not dating coaches are necessary for guys and the insurgence and popularity of dating coaches these days in 2023. They made some biased comment, okay? Coming from female perspective, I understand that dating is kind of easy for them, easier, and on paper it seems like they have a lot more options. So they rejected the idea of dating coaches being useful for female, but they did not discuss the possibility and the usefulness of dating coaches for us, for the guys, okay? And they made a few valid points, such as, look, if you have a personal trainer, if you have an accountant, if you use a professional service for anything in your life, yes, then for some people, dating coaches are worth the gold. But for some people, they don't need it. And guess what? In 2023, dating has become a real life skill. It is not something that you learn at school. It is not something that your dad or your mom necessarily taught you. It is a craft that needs to be worked on like everything else. And why you have dating coaches is to expedite your progress and to give you the knowledge and guidance that you need to be successful in the field of dating, love, and relationships. Because guess what? No one taught us these skills, right? And if you just sort of fumble through life, think that you know it all, guess what? You don't. And if you want to do everything, do anything, well, you need to learn from professionals, and that's why we're here. Anyway, I know I digressed into another topic, so I'm gonna jump right into today's main event. Yo, why you need to get off the dating apps, or why you need to consider having real life interaction outside of dating apps. All right, so in the broad spectrum of dating, for most guys, we look at different funnels that you can channel your resources into. So dating apps is just one of them. Obviously, there's in-person interactions, there's Facebook groups, there are people in tennis clubs, supermarkets, wherever and whenever, okay? Now, over the weekend, we had a blast of a workshop. I mean, I enjoy working with my students so much, so I consider them as my friends sometimes. I mean, we do business with people we like most of the time, right? And no exception with all my students. They're high caliber people, so it's fun and charismatic to be around. Ah, man, I love them. And I don't know why any females wouldn't love them. It would be any girl's loss to not having anything going on with any one of our Alpha Attraction students. So ladies, watch out, they're coming for you. Over the weekend, we've done a whole bunch of professional photographies just for their personal use or online dating. They can use for LinkedIn or whatever. And I remember on one night during the workshop, we created pretty much a magnetized vacuum, all right? And that's something you'll learn in our course, how to dress the part, look the part, act the part, and be magnetic as hell. So when you're out there in the venues, in the nightclub, you don't need to try so hard to be leering around, looking for target, aimless, all right? If you create yourself as a magnetic field, people will naturally be drawn to, all right? In case in point, the whole night we had groups of ladies that just kind of showed interest, got into our proximity, and some even opened up. I mean, granted, we were, immaculately presented, and we had very fun energy, good vibes, and my students were doing everything that I've taught them. So there was a given, that was expected to happen. So if you want to jump on the course, there are some spots opening. Make sure you can DM us or jump online to www.datingcoach.co.nz. All right, guys, guess what? We still got to get to the main topic, main event, right? All right, so I will swiftly reference a podcast that I listened to recently on The Diary of a CEO, okay, by this guy called Steven. He's successful, sharp-looking dude. He created an amazing business. He interviewed this guru, expert in the self-development field, and I found that podcast, that particular podcast episode was super powerful, man. All right, so the most powerful message that I gathered from that podcast is that you will need to swipe 1,000 times to get a single coffee date for an average looking guy. Isn't that statistic scary? Okay, so imagine you're just sitting there swiping 200 times to get a match.
It's an online dating. You have to swipe right 1,000 times to get a single coffee. It's 1 in 7 men doesn't have a single friend. They're going to have
an average looking guy. Isn't that statistic scary? Okay, so imagine you're just sitting there swiping 200 times to get a match. 200 times to get a match. So you got 5 matches. 4 out of those 5 matches will say, yep, let's go on a coffee date. And 4 of those 5 coffee dates will probably not show up. So you end up with actually 1 date out of 1,000 swipes. All right, 5 matches for an average looking guy. Okay, I'm talking about maybe you are a 5, maybe you're a 6. How you can be a 4. That is a abysmal statistic to contend for. Okay, but guess what? If you decide that you don't want to go online and you have enough charisma and skill to go talk to ladies in person, your chances are a lot higher. All right, case in point. On Saturday nights during my workshop, there was a leech kind of guy. We call this not a derogatory term. It's just in our industry, these kind of guys, we call them leeches. Have you ever had a friend that just not very good with women, but they are kind of like Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan? If you like, once you get in the game warmed up, they're good to go, but by themselves they are powerless. So I had one of these leeches. He was a very average looking dude with glasses. Nothing wrong with glasses. He was short, much shorter than most guys in the venue, and there was a couple of ladies that were just in our proximity. I had a great conversation with him. I kind of made him laugh and some fun jokes. I lightened the atmosphere. The mood was great, and he moved in. That leech moved in and started speaking to him. Now, do you think that leech, that short and appealing kind of dude, would attract someone who is taller than him, who's probably on a higher social ladder than him on a dating app? I doubt it, right? And that is why we value in-person meetings so much so over online dating. Okay, now here's a few interesting points this guy made on this podcast. Now, apart from the 1,000 swipe, okay, second thing he talked about was that, look, over 30 and single in women is an issue. Okay, so one woman in her 30s approached Scott Galloway in a bookstore, which is podcast author, okay, expressing her challenges with dating. She's successful in her career, single, and has tried dating apps without much success. She, like many other women, is starting to wonder if there's something wrong with her. What's wrong with her? Because she's over 30 and still single despite her achievement. Now, listen up. In 1970, only 13.3% of women over 30 were married, but today almost half of them remain unmarried. Additionally, the divorce rate for women over 30 has doubled in the past 50 years. And we talk about the high heels effect, right? It suggests that women are less likely to be attracted to men shorter than them, both consciously and subconsciously, due to societal expectations of physical protection. The study also indicated approximately 50% women say they prefer dating taller men, which significantly affects the dating pool. And that brings us to a very important concept. It's called Porsche polygamy. Significant issue is that the top 10% of men on dating apps receive a disproportionately high number of opportunities for short-term relationships or casual encounters. This can lead to fewer of these men pursuing long-term relationships, resulting in lack of commitment. Why would you commit? You are in the top 10% and every female craves your attention. You can have anyone you want. And guess what? What that translates is that 90% of guys on dating apps get no action, and those guys will become societal problems. The direct implication of that is that these guys will become socially inept, have mental health issues, loneliness, just paint really bleak picture for the future. The advice for young guys on dating apps from this guy is, look, guys, you need to have three things in play. Okay, work on yourself first before you do anything else. You need to embrace the role of a protector, embrace the role of a provider, and lastly, embrace and develop the role of a procreator. These are super important things, and all of these golden points Scott makes in this podcast, I agree with, and I found it very profound. So much so that I've actually inculcated my students some of these final points, and everyone agrees. Yo, when we are out and about, you know what to say, you know how to look, you know where to look. The prospects of getting a date or attention from females is never an issue. All right, quickly go on a tangent here. When you are good, you are really good. Okay, so our students have become avid seducers and communicators themselves. Okay, and when you're in a highly populated area, girls, they do get competitive, they do become territorial, and one of them, they even tagged her name on one of my students' arms for the night. She said, yo, I'm gonna write my name here on your arm so that no other females can get to you. How crazy is that? All right, guys, I'll leave you with that. It's been a long episode. I hope you like it, enjoy the content. If you do want to share it, go ahead. If you don't worry about it. Life's too short to hang out with people who are unpleasant. All right, we're not trying to please everyone. We try to help the few that truly understand the art of this craft. All right, guys, thank you for listening, thank you for watching. See you next time, and remember, attraction is not a choice. Peace out. Boom.